Welcome to my channel Bastelkiste. Yeah, you can hear it. This washing machine has a problem that needs our attention, and we're going to fix it together step by step. We'll take a closer look and see exactly what's broken here, so we can understand what went wrong and how to repair it. Yeah, you can clearly see that this machine has a problem. Either the shock absorbers are shot or a spring is broken. We'll take a look at that now. Anyway, you can test it by pushing down on the drum inside. And there you hear it, that rattling. So something is broken. That's how you can test if your machine might have a similar defect. And if it's making noises like that, then something is definitely broken. And as I said, we'll take a look now. So before we start, it's very important with electrical appliances to always first unplug the power cord so that you don't get an electric shock. And everything I'm showing here is just a demonstration. Please don't try this at home. Now first I'm going to check if the springs are still okay in the upper area. That means I'm going to be opening the lid right here now. For clarity, there are 2 screws located on the left side and 2 on the right side, and there are also 2 screws positioned at the back as well. And then you can just lift the lid off. So yeah, I've actually already gone ahead and loosened them up a bit just to make it go a little bit faster for us. And now we can already look inside from above. And now let's take a look at the springs. So let's look at the 2 springs on the right side. You can see them on the left and right. So there is one right over here and another one here in the front area, as you can see. There. And if the springs were broken or no longer attached, there would be no tension. You can see that well when you bounce it. So they're still nicely attached. Now let's look at the left side. So on the left side, we see the 2 springs again. And here too, when I shake it, you can't see it so well on video, but the drum hangs perfectly. So up here is not the problem. Now next, what I'm going to do is open up or actually fold away the entire front panel of this device. To make things a bit easier and save some time, I'll show you an older video clip where I've already gone through that whole process. That way I don't have to film the entire thing all over again, and we can take a good thorough look at everything that's located in the front area. So let's go ahead and check that out together. We have to loosen the screw at the door down here. We have to loosen these 2 screws. We have to remove this wire cable. I'll take it off now, and then we have to tuck the rubber inside. Then we can probably take off the front panel. Loosen the switch right here, or the door lock with the switch, since there's also a switch inside too. So now the first thing we want to do is take this cable. We're going to remove the wire cable first. To do that, you need to use a screwdriver here. Just gently pull up the spring, and then you can easily get this ring off. Now at this point, we can carefully tuck this flexible rubber seal inside. Okay, we still need to loosen this Torx screw. So now we'll loosen the baseboard, pull it forward. There are 4 more screws fastened down here. Of course, this can be a bit different for every washing machine or model. So you'll just have to look and see which screws you need to loosen to get the front panel off. Anyway, I'm going to remove 2 more screws per side down here, so 4 in total, and then we'll see what else needs to be unscrewed next. So now I've got the 4 screws off at the bottom, and the front panel is already coming off. And here we still have the door switch that I unscrewed. Yes, remove all of that carefully, and then carefully set the front panel aside. Remember, this is glass, so make sure nothing breaks. Well, as you can see, I've now dismantled the front. It took about 5 minutes, 10 minutes at most. It's relatively quick. It's not that complicated either. And yeah, now I'm going to look at the shock absorbers at the bottom of the machine to see if I notice anything. I noticed on the left shock absorber that oil is leaking out. So it's leaking, and that's probably why it's not holding the drum anymore. Now you can see it quite well. So you see there are these cracks in the plastic. That means oil has leaked out here too, and the shock absorber can't hold this weight anymore. And because of that, it's bottoming out. That's also why the plastic broke. So this is definitely the fault. The shock absorber here is broken. I'm going to replace both shock absorbers now, of course. That's how it's always done, not just one, because the other one will break sooner or later too, since the load is just way too much. So I've linked the shock absorbers in the video description. If you're interested, you can check them out there. And they are of very good quality. And I'm going to install them now. Well, here are the two new shock absorbers. I'm going to install these now. So I'm coming in here with a long extension and a 13mm socket. I can reach it and can loosen the nut here. That's relatively easy on the right side. You can actually get the bolt out too. And at the top, let's see if we can film that well. So I can definitely get there too. There's the nut. You see it. I can definitely reach that with the extension now too. And then I've already removed the damper on the right side. Well, that was quite quick. Yeah, as I said, loosen the nut and then take out the two mounting bolts. So 3 or 4 minutes, it doesn't take any longer. But what I noticed, of course, is that this is the damper that had no damage. But here, look, there's no life left in it at all. Here I have to pull really hard for anything to happen. So this one is damping. So that's why I say definitely replace both. After a certain amount of time, they'll probably break eventually, even if they don't look broken. But then there's definitely no damping left. Yeah, I wanted to show you that. And now I'll try to remove the left one. That one's a bit more complicated, I'd say, because the accessibility isn't quite as good, but I think I'll manage that too. Well, before I remove the left one, of course, I'll install the right one back in first. Anything else wouldn't make any sense. I've already got the bolt in down here. Now I'm doing the top. I'll have to see it's going in a bit more stubbornly there. I'll have to fiddle it in a bit more and then put the bolt through, tighten it, and then we'll go to the left side. So I've solved the stubborn part too by loosening the motor mount that's there on the left because that rubber buffer made the whole thing a bit tight. So I've loosened that now and then the damper went in perfectly. Now I'll tighten everything back up and then the right side is already done. The nut is on the other side, so I have to loosen the whole thing with a small ratchet here, but that's no problem. You can get there perfectly with the small ratchet. I think I'll turn it later though, because then I can screw it perfectly from the front again with the long extension. But I can't film this here and screw at the same time. That doesn't work. I'll just remove it now, but it's just like I told you. Now for the second damper too. This one still has, I think it also has no resistance, but more than that one. This one here is the broken one that I identified as faulty, so there's no life left in it at all. It's also important to mention, I had totally forgotten about this. We have a black side here and a white side over there. The white side goes on top, so you just have to look at how you remove them, then you'll see the color. And the black side goes at the bottom because the movement should come out here and not at the top. And that's why you have to install them the right way around. That's very important. Now that I've turned the nut, I can of course use the long extension here to perfectly just screw it back on tight. So I can do the exact same thing at the bottom. And then it's totally easy. And for the future, if in 10 years the dampers break again, I can then replace them relatively easily. Yes, now I'm carefully putting everything back together, making sure each part is in its proper place. And then, once that's done, we can take a look together to see if the machine is running smoothly again, just like it should be. So I finished putting everything back together. I'm going to set the washing machine to the spin cycle directly right now, and then I'll go ahead and start it. And then let's see how the machine's current running behavior actually ends up being now overall. So now it's slowly starting up. I'm excited. So all in all, I have to say that for less than 20 euros, if the machine does indeed run perfectly again now, then this repair was definitely worth it, especially when you also take into account the time that was spent on it. So the machine is ramping up to full speed. You can see completely normal spinning without any unusual noises at all. So the machine is now fully restored and back in working order. That means from this point on, we can hopefully continue to work with this device for several more years to come without any major issues. Let's keep an eye on it and make sure it stays in good condition. Good, and with that, I've reached the end of my video. I hope I was able to show you a few things. Maybe you can also take something positive away from this video. I would of course be happy if you subscribe to my channel. Yes, if you want to know anything else, write it in the comments, turn on the bell so you don't miss a video. And then I'd say take care until the next video. Bye.